The average supermarket contains approximately 40,000 individual products. The average shopper needs approximately 20 of them. The entire physical and sensory environment of the store was engineered by professionals specifically to increase the distance between those two numbers. And they have been refining that engineering for over 60 years. Using your brain against you. Most people believe that what they buy at a supermarket reflects their choices, their preferences, their needs, their decisions. And partly that is true. But a significant portion of what ends up in the average shopping cart was not chosen by the shopper. It was placed there by the architecture of the store they were navigating. Research on supermarket shopper behavior consistently finds that somewhere between 40 and 60% of purchases made in a grocery store are unplanned at the moment of entry, not budget overruns caused by remembered needs, genuinely unplanned additions triggered by the store environment itself. This percentage did not emerge from natural shopper behavior. It was engineered. The modern supermarket layout, product placement strategy, pricing architecture, sensory environment, and promotional display system are the product of over 60 years of consumer behavior research funded by retailers and food manufacturers, whose financial interest is maximizing spend per visit, not helping you stick to a budget. The people who design the store you shop in know more about how your brain makes purchasing decisions than most people who study the brain professionally. By the end of this video, you will understand the specific mechanisms they use and how to neutralize them without fighting your own psychology. Let us start with the floor. Let us start with the thing most people never question. Why are the essential items, milk, eggs, bread, meat, at the back of the store? Not because it is operationally convenient, because it forces you to walk past thousands of other products to reach the things you definitely came for. Every additional step you take past products you did not plan to buy increases the statistical probability that something catches your attention. Every additional item that catches your attention increases the probability that something ends up in your cart. This is called the decompression zone in the destination product strategy, and it is one of the oldest and most consistently applied principles in retail design. The store entrance itself is engineered. The first section you walk into in most major supermarkets is produce, fresh, colorful, visually appealing. This is not because produce is the most purchased category. It is because produce triggers a specific psychological effect. Seeing fresh, healthy, abundant food at the entrance puts you in a positive, expansive mental state, one where your brain is primed to be more generous in subsequent purchasing decisions. Research on this effect has documented that shoppers who spend time in fresh, produce sections at the start of a shopping trip subsequently spend more on indulgent or less healthy items in later sections. The healthy start gives psychological license to spend more freely afterward. Now, consider the store layout more broadly. The perimeter of the store contains fresh foods, produce, meat, dairy, bakery. The interior aisles contain processed and packaged goods with higher margins. Most shoppers naturally walk the perimeter first. By the time they enter the interior aisles, their cart has some items, which makes adding more feel proportionally smaller. An empty cart makes each addition feel significant. A cart with 16 items makes a 17th feel negligible. This is called anchoring, the cognitive bias where subsequent judgments are influenced by a reference point established earlier. Cart size itself is part of the design. Supermarket carts have grown significantly in average size over the past several decades. Research in retail environments has consistently shown that larger carts result in higher spending, not because shoppers fill them intentionally, but because a nearly full small cart signals completion, while a half-full large cart signals there is room for more. The floor you walk on, the path the layout creates, the cart you push, the section you enter first. None of it is accidental. All of it is optimized for one outcome. Your cart is fuller when you leave than you intended when you entered. Now let us go deeper into the environment itself, because the physical layout is only one layer of the engineering. The sensory environment, what you hear, what you smell, what the lighting does to how products look, is equally deliberate. Start with music. Research on background music in retail environments has been conducted since the 1980s. The findings have been remarkably consistent. Slower music causes shoppers to move more slowly through the store. Slower movement means more time spent in the store. More time in the store correlates directly with more spending. The tempo of the music you hear in a supermarket is not chosen because the store manager enjoys it. It is chosen because a specific tempo produces a measurable increase in revenue per shopper visit. During quieter periods, when the store needs to move shoppers through quickly, the tempo may shift. During peak periods when revenue per visitor is the primary concern, the tempo slows. Most shoppers are completely unaware this is happening. Second, scent. Many supermarkets pump the smell of freshly baked bread or roasting coffee into specific sections of the store or into the ventilation system. This is not a coincidence of proximity to a bakery. It is deliberate scent marketing. Food smells trigger hunger. Hunger triggers appetite. Appetite-driven shoppers buy more food, particularly in the high-margin prepared food, bakery, and snack categories that generate the best returns for the retailer. Research on scent marketing in grocery environments has found measurable increases in food category spending when pleasant food scents are present compared to neutral scented control environments. Third, lighting. Product lighting in supermarkets is category specific. The produce section uses lighting designed to make vegetables appear more vibrant and fresh than standard white light would show. The meat section uses warm spectrum lighting that makes red meat appear brighter, more appealing, and fresher than it would look under neutral light. The bakery section uses warm golden light that triggers appetite and signals freshness. The lighting you see is not for your convenience. It is for the product's presentation, and the product's presentation is designed to trigger buying behavior. Fourth, end caps. The displays at the end of each aisle, called end caps, are among the most valuable real estate in the entire store. Food manufacturers pay significant fees to have their products placed there. Why? Because research consistently shows that products on end caps sell dramatically more than the same products buried mid-aisle, regardless of whether any price promotion is attached to the display. The positioning alone triggers a perception that the product is special, on sale, or worth noticing, even when none of those things are true. This is the mere exposure effect combined with salience bias, two documented cognitive biases that the retail industry has been exploiting systematically for decades. The shopper navigating the store believes they are making free choices in a neutral environment. The environment is not neutral. It was built by people who understand exactly how choices feel free even when they are being actively engineered. If the physical and sensory engineering we just covered explained why you always spend more than you planned, stay with me, because layout and sensory manipulation are only two of the three layers. The pricing architecture, the specific way prices are set, displayed, and framed to make spending feel rational even when the math does not support it. That is what comes next. Now let us talk about how prices themselves are engineered to override your rational judgment. Start with charm pricing, the practice of ending prices in 99 cents rather than rounding to the nearest dollar. This is one of the oldest and most studied pricing techniques in retail. Research consistently shows that consumers perceive a price of $4.99 as significantly cheaper than $5, despite the difference being 1 cent. The left-digit effect, the brain's tendency to anchor on the leftmost number, causes consumers to encode $4.99 as $4 and something, rather than approximately $5. This perception effect is measurable and persistent, even in consumers who consciously know it exists. Second, anchoring through sale pricing. When a product is displayed with a crossed-out original price and a lower current price, the brain automatically uses the original price as the reference point. The higher the original price, the better the current price feels, regardless of whether the original price was ever genuinely charged. Retailers have well-documented histories of inflating original prices specifically to make sale discounts appear larger. The reference price on the shelf is not necessarily the price anyone ever paid. It is a psychological anchor placed there to make the current price feel like a win. Third, bulk purchase framing. 10 for $10, buy 3 get 1 free. These offers create a sense of urgency and value that triggers purchasing quantities beyond immediate need. Research has shown that purchase quantity limits, maximum 6 per customer signs, actually increase average purchase quantity, even when the sign is purely artificial. The limit signals that the product is valuable enough to require rationing. The brain interprets the scarcity signal as a buying cue. Fourth, private label positioning. Store brand products are deliberately positioned adjacent to name brand equivalents, often on the shelf directly below, at eye level for the brand, lower shelf for the store brand. The comparison is forced by proximity, but the margin on the store brand is dramatically higher for the retailer than the margin on the name brand. The retailer profits whether you choose premium or value. The positioning is designed to make you feel you made a smart financial choice, either way, because the comparison happening in your head is between the two options presented, not between either option and not buying it at all. Every price you see in a supermarket was set by someone who understood exactly how your brain would process it. The number itself, the context around it, the comparison it implies. All deliberate, all tested, all optimized for maximum revenue per visit. Here is the practical framework for spending what you planned, instead of what the store engineered. First, the list is non-negotiable, not a mental list, a written list. Research comparing planned and unplanned purchases consistently finds that written lists reduce unplanned spending more effectively than any other single intervention. The act of writing the list forces deliberate pre-commitment to specific items. Every item not on the list requires an active decision to add it, which breaks the passive drift through the engineered environment. Second, shop with a fixed budget and a calculator, not an estimate, a specific number, tracking a running total. As you shop transforms the experience from a passive navigation through a sensory environment into an active numbers exercise. The sensory triggers that work on passive shoppers are significantly less effective when part of the brain is doing arithmetic. Third, never shop hungry. This is the most documented finding in supermarket psychology. Research, hunger dramatically increases the purchase of high-calorie, high-margin, unplanned items. The fresh bread smell that the ventilation system pumps into the store works most powerfully on a shopper who has not eaten. Eat before you enter. The scent engineering loses most of its power. Fourth, use online grocery ordering for your main shop where available. The entire sensory and layout engineering of the physical store is absent from an online interface. You see only what you search for. The slow music is gone. The bread smell is gone. The end cap that catches your peripheral vision is gone. The unplanned purchase rate in online grocery shopping is dramatically lower than in-store because the environment that triggers the unplanned purchasing has been removed entirely. Use physical stores for fresh items and specific needs you want to assess directly. Use online for the predictable weekly staples. The store will still try to engineer your digital experience with banner ads and suggested items. But it is considerably easier to ignore a suggested item icon than to walk past a fragrant end cap display at precisely the moment you turn the corner. The supermarket was not designed to help you buy what you need efficiently. It was designed to maximize the distance between what you plan to spend and what you actually spent. Every element of the experience, the path, the music, the scent, the lighting, the pricing, was engineered by people who have studied your decision-making for decades. Understanding this does not make you immune to it, but it changes the specific decisions you make inside it. Written list, specific budget, full stomach, online where practical. For habits that recover real money from a system designed to take it quietly. Share this with one person who always leaves the supermarket spending more than they planned. And if you want to keep understanding the systems engineered around your spending behavior, subscribe to Hidden Truth Files. Hidden, no more.